An RRSP, or Registered Retirement Savings Plan, is a type of Canadian retirement savings account that allows you to set aside money for your retirement and receive tax benefits for doing so. The deadline to contribute to your RRSP for 2022 is March 1st, 2023. And today we're going to be covering the most common questions about the RRSP to help you prepare for the rapidly approaching deadline. So how does it work? What's the benefit? How much can you put into it? What they don't tell you, and then 4 things that we see people get wrong all the time. So how does an RRSP work? So an RRSP is set up to be your retirement savings if you earn income in Canada. And the main benefit is that any money you put into your RRSP reduces your taxable income by that amount up to a certain limit. So for example, you earn $100,000 and you put $20,000 into your RRSP, your taxable income for that year will be $80,000. So you pay income tax on the lower $80,000 instead of paying tax on the higher $100,000. On the flip side, any money you take out of your RRSP is added to your taxable income for that year. So the same example, if you had $100,000 in income and you take $20,000 out of your RRSP, your income for that year will be $120,000. So just now I said you could contribute into your RRSP up to a certain limit. And to find out what your limit is, go to your MyCRA website. So if you Google MyCRA, it should be the first real link at the top, not one of the ads. When you log in, there's a section for RRSP and TFSA contribution room. And that's your limit. It's going to be different for everyone depending on your age and your income and how much you've contributed in the past. Another big benefit of investing in your RRSP is that the growth inside is tax deferred until you take it out. So this helps to accelerate your wealth creation because the growth is not eroded by taxes every year and it has time to compound over time. Now, what they don't tell you, so the government, the media, and the big financial institutions, they pump RRSPs like everyone should do them all the time, and that's not always the case. RRSPs are great for employees who don't have any other ways to defer tax on their income. So if you receive a T4 from your employer, which is the majority of people, well then RRSP is one of the few things that you can do to save on your income tax. But business owners have their company or their holding company to store money for the long term. So it generally doesn't make sense for a profitable business owner to put money into their RRSP, right? And you're not going to see a single ad from a bank or an investment firm telling you this. So why doesn't it make sense for a business owner to put money into their RRSP? Well, keeping your money in the corp, you pay the corporate tax rate, which here in BC is 12% right now. So why would you pay yourself extra money as income to get a limited tax deduction if you could just leave the money in the corp and do nothing and come out ahead? So then when you leave the money in your corp, there are other things you can do to help you grow that money in a tax advantage way, but that's not today's video. And here's what people do wrong. So there's 4 things that we see, and there's probably more. So number 1, not investing the money. So I see this all the time and it's crazy. The RRSP and your TFSA are investment accounts, but often I see people's statements and they have their RRSP or TFSA with money that's just not invested. It's just sitting in cash, which defeats the whole purpose of having a tax deferred growth. So if you have money in your RRSP, make sure it's invested. And I mean, it's nuts not to. So you can put it into all sorts of things like stocks and bonds and mutual funds, segregated funds. There's tons of other stuff. The second thing that people do wrong is that mainstream information doesn't tell you is you can take the money out of your RRSP anytime you want. So all the ads and the general information always talks about taking your money out during retirement, which is the main reason for having it in the first place. But another great time to withdraw from your RRSP is in a year where you're going to have lower income. So for example, you're not employed right now because you're working on a new company and you're not earning anything yet. Or this is a great time to draw from your RRSP because the increase in the income doesn't hit you too hard on the taxes. Or if you're taking a sabbatical and maybe you're traveling the world or you're going back to school and you're not going to earn anything this year, it's a great time to take from your RRSP. So generally in low income years is when you want to withdraw from your RRSP, which makes sense. In retirement, generally most people have lower income than when they're working. But it really kills me that people don't tell you that. Another time you can take from your RRSP before retirement is for your first time homebuyers program, where you can take up to $35,000 to buy a house. You have to repay the money over the next 15 years or it'll be taxed, but it's a great program to take advantage of. You can also take up to 20 grand under the lifelong learning program to go back to school. So this also needs to be put back into the RRSP or you're going to be taxed on the amount that you withdrew. This third one is an expensive mistake, and we're actually dealing with 2 of these right now. This is the mistake of people having too much money in their RRSP. And I'm not talking about over contributing past your limit. What I'm talking about is when you come to retirement age and you literally just have too much money in your RRSP and you don't need it all. It becomes very expensive in taxes to take it out. So let me give you an example. So we're working with a very successful realtor. She's been doing it for 40 years and she wants to retire in the next couple of years. And she probably won't really all the way retire, but this, she's going to slow down. So her situation is in the 40 years of being a realtor, she's also bought a bunch of rental properties along the way. And she's currently making around $25,000 a month just from the rentals. She could stay in bed all day and make $25,000 a month regardless of anything that she does. She's also still working and she's consistently making between $400,000 to $600,000 a year. So she's living a great life and she's blessed and it's, she's an awesome lady. But here's the catch. When she was younger, she did what you're supposed to do and she put money into her RRSP. And today she's got about $1 million in there, which sounds great. So she's in her mid-60s right now and doesn't need to use any of the money in her RRSP. So if she takes it out now, about 50% is going to go to taxes. And even if she leaves it in, when she turns 71, she's forced to terminate the RRSP and either cash it out or buy an annuity or convert it to a RIF. And in all of these cases, she's going to be forced to take the money out of the RRSP and it's going to be a big taxable event. So this is another case of somebody who shouldn't have put that money in the RRSP, but she did what we're all told you're supposed to do. So if you're making a lot of money now and you're going to keep making a lot of money later, then be very strategic about your RRSP contributions. Don't just blindly put in the maximum every year because you might get stuck with trapped money and a big tax bill in the future. So talk to someone, plan it out, and see if it's the right thing for you. So the fourth thing that people get wrong about the RRSPs is they think there's a penalty for withdrawing outside of retirement. There's no penalty for withdrawing from your RRSP. You can withdraw whenever you want. You just have to pay the tax, right? So there's no penalty. You just have to pay the tax that you didn't pay before. So that's it. Answers to some RRSP questions that are not the top 10 RRSP questions that anybody could just Google. These are some things that we see from experience with clients, and they're not mainstream knowledge that's found on the hundreds of personal finance blogs or a bank brochure or like some general YouTube channels. There's pros and cons to RRSPs like with any other financial service, and there's good and there's bad. So do what's right for your personal situation. So reminder that the deadline's coming up this year. It's March 1st. Please don't call me or your investment guide 2 days before that and try to get this done because we will hate you. We'll probably get it done, but it's way easier if you call now and we have plenty of time to get the paperwork done and transfer the money around where it's supposed to be and figure out how much you're going to put in and what we're going to do. Don't call the day before. So if you got value from this video, please like and share and comment and subscribe and all the good stuff so that the algorithms think that we're popular and then it spreads the message further. If you want more personalized advice about your RRSP, go to our website link in the caption or go to our website, safepacific.com, fill out the form. It'll come to me and we'll book a meeting. That's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time.